The collective had been sure. They'd scoured galaxies, observed worlds, documented countless species and civilizations. They prided themselves on being comprehensive, their databanks vast and infinite, their records meticulously maintained, yet the information they'd gathered on the primitive species from the third planet in the Sol system, what they called humans, was curiously sparse. Humans were a puzzlingly young species, certainly no elder race and largely irrelevant in galactic affairs. They could hardly have been more wrong. Chapter 1, First Contact. The world trembled with excitement. Humans, isolated on their blue-green marble, had just received their first undeniable message from an extraterrestrial civilization. The collective had sent a transmission, detailing their intent to make contact and peacefully integrate humans into the galactic community. All over Earth, humans prepared to welcome their new alien neighbors, dreaming of advanced knowledge, technology, and interstellar adventure. The collective's representative fleet entered orbit within days, a cluster of sleek, enigmatic ships glinting against the darkness of space. The leaders of Earth prepared to meet with the diplomats from the stars. Televised and broadcast globally, it was meant to be a historical moment of unity for humanity. As the collective representatives, tall, elegant beings of various species cloaked in shimmering robes, descended to Earth's surface, they took in the planet with their own special lenses, able to perceive wavelengths human eyes couldn't. But then, strange things began to happen. Chapter 2, Glitches in the Archive. Unbeknownst to humanity, the collective's vast central databank, deep within its flagship, was throwing up anomalies. The data on humans was behaving oddly. Reports were shifting, recombining in ways the aliens had never seen. Files marked as ancient were starting to show a trace of human activity. A fingerprint here. A historical record there. The collective's AI systems found human-related records stretching back eons, far beyond the supposed emergence of humanity on Earth. It was easy to dismiss at first. Corrupted data was not unheard of, but the discrepancies only grew. One of the diplomats, a serious insectoid creature named Kale, sat across from the president of Earth in a formal negotiation hall. He squinted, a low clicking rumbling from his mandibles. "Your records claim your species has been developing for a mere 300,000 years, he asked. "Yes, that's correct," the president replied, smiling nervously. The collective diplomats murmured amongst themselves, some adjusting their translation devices as if the answer was incomprehensible. 300,000 years. It was laughably short for any species of significance. That wouldn't even account for the evolutionary time to reach intelligence, much less the level of cultural, societal, and technological evolution humanity exhibited. Their interactions continued for hours, but Katal's mind wandered back to the strange records popping up in their databanks. Ghostly records, little relics of human origin appearing where they shouldn't. He wondered, was it possible? Chapter 3, The Dig Sites. One collective scientist, an alien archaeologist named Jarula, grew more and more curious about these anomalies. Driven by a gnawing suspicion, she directed her team to explore Earth's archaeological sites, places where the most ancient human artifacts had been found. Perhaps there would be more clues to explain these irregularities. They started at Göbekli Tepe, then moved to the ancient caves of Lascaux and on to the remote Australian outback. But it was at the site of Baalbek in Lebanon where Jarula's curiosity transformed into genuine fear. Among the massive stone blocks that predated even the oldest human civilizations by millennia, they found evidence of unknown technology embedded deep within the Earth, resonating with frequencies that disrupted their scanners. But more disturbing were the symbols they found in the rock. Symbols which matched ancient texts in the collective's oldest records. They took samples, scanned them, and rechecked their records. The answer was inescapable. Humans, or some form of humanity, had been here long before recorded history, not just here on Earth. Scattered throughout the galaxy, they attempted to share this information with the rest of the collective, but every transmission mysteriously failed. Frustrated, Jarula realized they would need to gather more evidence before anyone would believe them. Chapter 4, The Forgotten City on Mars. As more collective members delved into Earth's secrets, they heard whispers from their own. The vast Martian desert, the planet's reddish sands undisturbed for eons, held legends among certain collective members. Stories of a once thriving civilization now reduced to sand and stone, its ruin. As buried and hidden away, a small exploration team was dispatched to Mars. They were skeptical, their data suggesting Mars had been lifeless for millions of years. But as they descended to the surface, they picked up faint energy signals coming from a massive sand dune that concealed a buried city. When they began digging, they found enormous stone structures. their designs eerily similar to some of the most ancient sites on Earth. Beneath layers of dust they uncovered a monolithic arch inscribed in an ancient dialect that collective linguists hadn't deciphered. Until now, the writing read, "To those who come after, beware. This is humanity's cradle and our return." The members of the collective who uncovered this immediately relayed it back to their command. Panic swept through their ranks. How could this be? Humans were a young species just emerging from their world, and yet, these ruins spoke of a time when humans had walked on Mars, when their empire had spanned the stars. Chapter 5: The War Machines Awake. In their fervor to uncover humanity's lost history, the collective unknowingly triggered an ancient security system. A long-dormant network of hidden satellites and drones scattered throughout the solar system. As each ruin was disturbed, each artifact moved. These machines began to reawaken. Collective ships stationed in low orbit around Earth were the first to notice. A blinding flash erupted from the dark side of the moon as ancient satellites surged back to life, their weapon systems humming, targeting the intruders. Earth's own skies darkened as unknown signals emerged from every corner, activating mechanisms buried deep within the planet's crust. Some collective ships tried to flee, but one by one they were struck down by bolts of energy from sources humans hadn't even known existed. Earth's leaders were as bewildered as the aliens, watching from the ground as the night sky flickered with explosions. Then came the distress calls from the collective's outer colonies. As if ignited by some cosmic chain reaction, hidden installations all over the galaxy flared to life, aimed directly at the collective's strongholds. Chapter 6: Humanity's Awakening. Aboard one collective ship that managed to escape the carnage, a surviving diplomat demanded an explanation. How could humanity, a primitive species, have these weapons? How could they have scattered powerful technology across galaxies? Only a few humans understood the significance of what was happening, including Dr. Elias Rourke, an archaeologist who had been studying the secret histories in Earth's most ancient sites. Rourke, in a trembling voice, addressed the remnants of the collective. "You don't understand," he said. "We have no memories of this past, but the evidence is everywhere. Humanity was once a great star-faring race. A catastrophe, something terrible, brought us to the brink, reduced us to what you see today." Cale listened, his compound eyes wide. "You mean to tell me humans are the original, elder species?" "Not just that," Dr. Rourke replied. "We were the first civilization. Something hunted us down, something we've long forgotten, and we sealed ourselves away on Earth, buried our knowledge, until we could rise again." Just then, every screen aboard the ship flickered with a message in an ancient human dialect. It read, "To the true children of humanity, you have awoken. Remember who you are." Dr. Rourke turned to the collective leaders. "Now you know what lies beyond the stars. We tried to protect the galaxy from the knowledge, but it seems fate has intervened. We are the guardians, and if need be, we will be the vengeful protectors." The collective ships, the survivors of a once confident fleet, began to withdraw from Earth's orbit, retreating back to the safety of their home systems. Epilogue. The memory returns months later on Earth. Humanity was beginning to rediscover itself. People started having strange dreams of places they had never seen, languages they had never spoken. Collective scientists, from the safety of their home systems, began to study humanity from afar, all too aware of the ancient, terrible truth they had uncovered. But for humanity, one fact remained clear. They were not alone in the galaxy, and they would never again be caught unprepared. They were the original elder species. Their past was filled with forgotten wars, hidden allies, and unspeakable enemies, and if necessary, they would rise once more to protect their legacy and the galaxy. The humans waited, knowing that one day the stars would call them back to reclaim their rightful place as the guardians and legends of the galaxy.